On the Jackson's Island. On Jackson's Island, the summer holidays came and there was no school. Tom didn't want to think about Muff Potter and Indian Joe, but it wasn't easy. At night, when he was in bed, he saw Indian Joe's face in the dark and he couldn't sleep, but he couldn't talk to anyone about it. One hot summer's day, he and Joe Harper were down by the Mississippi River. They sat and watched the boats and fished and talked. "Let's go get away from here," said Tom suddenly. "Let's go and do something exciting somewhere." "Okay," said Joe, "but what and where?" "I know," Tom said. "Let's run away. Let's go and live on Jackson's Island. We can sleep out under the trees." Jackson's Island was in the Mississippi, 3 miles south of St. Petersburg. Nobody lived there. "Let's ask Huck Finn too," said Tom. "But don't tell your mother or father or anyone. Go home and get some things to eat and meet me here at midnight." On the Jackson's Island. Explanation of the chapter. The next day, everyone knew about poor Dr. Robinson. The sheriff found Muff Potter's knife near the body of the doctor. He put Muff in St. Petersburg's small jail as he was caught by his men when Muff came to the graveyard looking for his knife. Tom and Huck looked at each other. "We saw Injun Joe kill the doctor," said Tom. "Muff didn't kill him. Poor Muff." "I know," said Huck, "but we mustn't say anything. Remember, Injun Joe is dangerous, very dangerous. I'm sorry for Muff Potter too." The two boys were afraid. "We must keep this secret," said Tom sadly. Tom could not forget. At night he had bad dreams about Injun Joe and Muff Potter. He kept the terrible secret, but he was very unhappy. Aunt Polly was worried about him. He was unhappy at school too. It was now summer and there was no more school. Tom and his friend Joe Harper went to the Mississippi River. They fished, tugged, and looked at the boats. One day Tom said, "Let's go do something exciting." "Okay," said Joe, "but where can we go and what can we do?" "Let's run away. We can go and live on Jackson's Island." Jackson's Island was a small island in the Mississippi River. It was about 3 miles south of St. Petersburg. No one lived on the island. "Huckleberry Finn can come with us too," said Tom. "Remember, Joe, don't tell your mother, father, or anyone about our adventure. Go home and bring some food. We'll meet here at midnight." So, That night, three boys in a small boat went down the river to Jackson's Island. They had some bread and some meat, and Huck had his pipe too. When they got there, they carried everything onto the island and made a fire under a big old tree. Then they cooked some of the meat over the fire, and oh, that meat was good, the best dinner in the world. Soon they stopped talking, their eyes closed, and they slept. After breakfast, they walked through the island, swam some more, talked, fished, and swam again. They came back to their fire in the afternoon. Suddenly, Tom looked up and said, "Listen, can you hear boats?" They listened and then ran across the island to look down the river. There were 20 or more boats on the water. Every boat in St. Petersburg was out. "What are they doing?" asked Joe. "They are looking for a dead body, I think," said Huck. "They did that last summer when Bill Turner fell in the river and drowned." "Who's dead, do you think?" asked Joe. The boys watched the boats. Suddenly, Tom cried, "I know who's dead. It's us. They are looking for us." This was wonderful. Tom looked at his friends. "We are famous," he said. "Everybody in St. Petersburg is talking about us, and they all feel sorry for us." Tom and Joe were excited. At midnight, the three boys met on the river. Tom brought some meat to eat, and Joe brought some bread. They found a small raft and they went down the river to Jackson's Island. When they arrived on the island, they made a fire and cooked some meat. "This is fun," said Joe. "We are free and we can do everything we want," said Tom. The three boys were happy and slept under the stars. The next morning, they went swimming in the river. Then they went fishing. They cooked the fish on the fire and ate it. It was delicious. After break, they walked around the island and went swimming again. In the afternoon, they sat around the fire and ate some meat. Suddenly, Tom said, "Can you hear a strange noise? Listen, what is it?" asked Joe. "Let's go and see," said Huck. They ran to the river. They saw a steamboat and a lot of small boats near it. "Every boat from St. Petersburg is out on the river," said Joe. "What's happening?" "They are looking for a dead body," said Huck. "The same thing happened last summer when Bill Turner fell into the river and drowned." "Who are they looking for this time?" asked Joe. Tom thought for a moment and said, "I know, it's us. They think we are drowned." The three boys felt like heroes and laughed. "The people of St. Petersburg are looking for us. They are talking about us. We are famous, said Tom happily. This was an exciting adventure for Tom, Huck, and Joe. They felt like real heroes on Jackson's Island. The boats and the steamboat went away. Night came and the boys went to sleep. But Tom did not sleep, and when morning came, he wasn't there. Huck, where is Tom? Cried Joe. I don't know, Huck began. But look, there he is. He is swimming across to the island now. Hey, Tom! At breakfast, Tom told his story. I went home last night, he said, and listened at the window. Joe, your mother was there too, and she and Aunt Polly cried and cried. I heard some very interesting things. On Sunday, there's going to be a big funeral at the church for us. And listen, I've got a wonderful idea. Huck and Joe listened and laughed, and yes, it was a wonderful idea. That night, the boys cooked some more fish and dinner. Huck got out his pipe and began to smoke. Can we smoke too? Asked Tom. I want to learn. So Huck made pipes for Tom and Joe, and the three boys sat and smoked. Hey, I like smoking, said Tom. It's easy. It's nothing, said Joe. I'm going to smoke every day. But after 10 minutes, Tom and Joe got quieter and quieter, and their faces went an interesting color. I'm going for a little walk now, said Tom. He stood up carefully and walked away into the trees. Me too, said Joe quickly. The two boys came back an hour later, but they didn't smoke their pipes again. On Sunday morning, there were no happy faces in St. Petersburg. Aunt Polly and Joe's mother and father were in the church, and all the boys' friends. The minister said some very nice things about the three boys, and the boys' families cried and cried. Everybody cried, and little Becky Thatcher did not stop crying for 1 second. There was a small noise at the back of the church, but at first nobody heard it. Then the minister looked up and suddenly stopped speaking. Everybody turned to look. Their mouths opened and stayed open. And into the church came the three dead boys. Tom first, Joe next, and then Huck. For a second, nobody moved or spoke. And then the noise began. The boys went fishing again and had fish for dinner. Then they slept under the stars. But Tom could not sleep. The next morning he wasn't there. Where is Tom? Asked Joe. I don't know, said Huck. A few minutes later, Huck said, Look, Tom's swimming in the river. He's coming to the island. Tom told them his story. Last night I couldn't sleep. I thought about Aunt Polly, so I went home, but no one saw me. I saw Aunt Polly and your mother, Joe. Poor Aunt Polly cried a lot, and your mother was very sad too. Everyone thinks we are dead. I heard some interesting things. What did you hear? Asked Huck. Well, there will be a funeral for us on Sunday at the church, said Tom. Huck and Joe looked at him with big eyes. And now I have a great idea. Listen, Tom told Huck and Joe his great idea. They liked it and laughed. Sunday was the day of the funeral. There were no happy faces in St. Petersburg. Everyone in the village was in small church. Aunt Polly and Joe Harper's family were all dressed in black. The Reverend said many kind words about the three boys. The boys' families cried and cried. Becky Thatcher also cried. Everyone cried a lot. Suddenly, there was a noise at the church door. The Reverend looked up and stopped speaking. Everyone in the church turned around and looked. Their mouths opened. The three dead boys slowly walked into the church. Tom was first, then Joe, and then Huck. There was great silence for a moment. Aunt Polly and Joe's mother ran to the boy and took them in their arms. Aunt Polly cried and laughed and cried again. "Oh, Tom," she said, "you are a bad boy, but I love you." Suddenly, the minister called out, "Oh, happy days! Sing, good people of St. Petersburg, sing and be happy." And everybody sang and smiled and laughed for a long time. It was St. Petersburg's happiest funeral. The weeks went by and the judge came to St. Petersburg. On the day before Muff Potter's trial, Huck and Tom met in the street near Tom's house. Huck was unhappy. "Tom, you didn't tell anyone about, you know." "No, I didn't. But Huck, what about Muff? People are saying he's the killer and he's going to die." "But we can't tell anyone about Injun Joe," said Huck. "I don't want to die too. Do you?" No, Tom didn't want to die, but he couldn't forget Muff Potter's face in the jail. Old, tired, and unhappy. And Injun Joe was a free man. It wasn't right. That night, Tom came home late and very excited. He could not sleep for 2 or 3 hours. The next morning, all the village was at Muff Potter's trial. Injun Joe was there, too. Muff waited, a tired old man with a dirty face. The judge began the trial. Questions, questions, questions. Answers, answers, answers. And the answers were all bad for Muff Potter. "Yes, I found the knife in the graveyard next the Dr. Robinson's body." "Yes, that's Muff Potter's knife. He always carries it." "Yes, I saw Muff Potter in the village that afternoon. He had the knife with him then." Then Aunt Polly and Joe's mother ran to the boys. They kissed Tom and Joe. Aunt Polly cried and then laughed. Then the Reverend said, "Let us sing and be happy." Everyone sang and laughed. It was a very happy day. Some weeks later, it was time for Muff Potter's trial. Everyone in the village talked about it. Tom and Huck were worried. "Huck, did you tell anyone about that?" asked Tom. "About what?" answered Huck. "You know what," said Tom. "Oh, of course not," said Huck. "Poor old Muff. I'm very sorry for him. People say he's a killer, but it's not true. And they will hang him," said Tom. "I'm sorry for Muff too, but we can't tell anyone about Injun Joe," said Huck. "Poor Muff is a kind man. I want to help him," said Huck. They went to the small jail and they saw Muff. He was happy to see them. Now Tom felt terrible, as Muff was an innocent man but was facing lots of trouble. But Injun Joe was wandering around as a free man, though he was a murderer. Tom was worried about the trial. He could not sleep that night. Everybody in the village went to Muff Potter's trial. Muff looked old, tired, and unhappy. Injun Joe was at the trial too. During the trial, there were many questions and answers. All the answers were against old Muff. Muff Potter began to look more and more unhappy. Then the judge said, "Call Thomas Sawyer." St. Petersburg sat up. What did the young Tom Sawyer know? Everybody looked at him and waited. "Thomas Sawyer, where were you on the 17th of June at the hour of midnight?" "In the graveyard." "Why?" "I went there to see ghosts with a dead cat." St. Petersburg laughed and the judge looked angry. "And where were you in the graveyard, Thomas?" "Behind the trees near Hoss Williams' grave." Injun Joe's face suddenly went white. "Now, my boy," said the judge, "tell us your story." And so Tom told his story, and St. Petersburg sat and listened to him with open mouths. And then Muff Potter fell, and Injun Joe jumped with the knife, and crash! Injun Joe jumped through the window and was out and away in a second. St. Petersburg loved Tom for a week, but Tom was not happy. Injun Joe was not in jail, and he was a dangerous man. Tom slept badly for weeks. The slow summer days went by. Injun Joe did not come back to St. Petersburg, and Tom began to forget. Then the lawyer said, "Call Thomas Sawyer." Everyone was surprised and looked at Tom. Why did the lawyer call Thomas Sawyer? "Thomas Sawyer, where were you on 17th of June at midnight?" Tom looked quickly at Injun Joe. He waited a few moments and then said, "I was in the graveyard." "Were you near Horace Williams' grave?" asked the lawyer. "Yes, sir," said Tom. "Why were you there?" asked the lawyer. "I went there to see the ghost with a dead cat." Everyone laughed. "What did you see in the graveyard? Tell us what happened," said the lawyer. Tom told his story, and people of St. Petersburg listened to him. They were very surprised. On listening to the story, Injun Joe was scared. His face became white. Suddenly, people heard a very loud noise. Injun Joe jumped out of the window and disappeared. Tom became the hero of St. Petersburg. He saved Muff Potter's life. Tom's days were happy, but his nights were not. At night, he had terrible dreams about Injun Joe. The day passed, and no one could find Injun Joe. Gradually, Tom also started forgetting about him.